We're going to get started by going over how to load nibs into the pen. So again, like this isn't the one I'm going to be using, but I will go over how to load a nib into this because you could use this for this lesson. It's just not the one that I'm going to use. So what I need for this, so this nib is dirty and that's lazy of me because I should always wash them. If you have a wooden barrel one, you'll see the top of it, there's like some prongs in there, and it could be confusing the first time you do this because I first thought that you were supposed to kind of put it in the middle. I don't know if you can see very well that I'm putting it in the middle, but what you're supposed to do is kind of line it up with the outside there and wedge it between kind of the outside crease and the inside barrel, and press down hard enough that it's secure and not wobbling, but not too hard, because if you go too far down you can split this barrel, this pen holder actually. And if you were loading that into this different pen holder, you can see it's a little bit more foolproof because there's only one place you can put it, right on the outside there. But I'm not going to use that pen, like I said. The pen I'm going to use is this little guy right here. So ideally you'd have a completely clean nib, but this is one that I've used before. As long as it's clean and you keep them in good shape, there's really no reason you can't have your nibs for a long time. This one isn't so hard. There's really only one way you can do it. Just be careful when you load it in as to not bend this point right here, because that will affect the way that your ink comes out, which is not what we want. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't matter what kind of nib you use as long as it's pointy at the top. When you hold the pen, keep in mind, so you can hold it the way that you normally hold like a ballpoint pen or a pencil. Just keep in mind you don't want to hold it on the nib directly, not only because it could potentially warp the nib over time, but you don't want to get the ink on your fingers there. So you want to still hold it on the holder, but far enough down that you feel like you have control over the tip. Keep in mind also that when you are holding it like this, you always want to be pointing the pen at an angle with the paper, like a 45-degree angle, and not perpendicular. If you're one of those people who write with like kind of a hook like this, you're going to have to learn how to hold your pen a different way for calligraphy, because the ink is not conducive, or this type of pen is not conducive to the ink coming out this way. It's only designed to come out at a 45-degree angle. So in terms of loading ink, basically, so I put this in the smaller little well here. This is not the best one to use. I just didn't have any more screw top ones left, because it is a little bit difficult to get off. I don't want black ink to splash everywhere. And then of course, just so much ink everywhere. I always keep some paper towels close by, as well as some baby wipes. I'm just gonna put... Okay. So when you're loading your pen, you just want to get enough so that you're covering the little dot on your nib. That's the reservoir. So I'm just going to dip it in lightly and just tap it on the side to shake off any excess. And you'll kind of get a feel for it too after loading it a few different times. So I'm just going to start off with a really simple letter form. I don't have line pages, but you guys have line pages in yours, and you can feel free to use that. I'm going to do something called a compound curve. This